Hi, I'm Arlene McIntyre, Creative Director at Ventura Design, and you're listening to Shut the Front Door, a light-hearted podcast that will bring you through the front door and into the homes of influential and interesting people. Home for me is one of the most important things in my life. My career has fortunately given me the opportunity to work closely with people and to help them create a home they will cherish forever. Today we are joined all the way from Dubai by reality TV star, podcaster and brand ambassador Caroline Stanbury. Caroline first burst onto our TV screens as the star of Bravo's Ladies of London. Caroline and her family moved to Dubai as the series came to an end in 2017. She has since gone on to build a huge dedicated following across her social media platforms and YouTube channel. It's there she shares her journey of how she is making the most of this beautiful trip called life. Following on from her divorce, Caroline created the phenomenal podcast, Divorced Not Dead, where she speaks to a range of experts and peers about hard-hitting topics from co-parenting, post-divorce, to why life begins at 40. Her positivity is genuinely infectious. Recently engaged to ex-professional Real Madrid soccer player Sergio Carrallo and mum to daughter Yasmine and twin boys Aaron and Zac, I'm delighted to welcome Caroline Stanbury to Shut the Front Door.
Hi, what a great intro. I could listen to that all day. It's like, is that me?
Well, how are you, Caroline? I see you've had the most amazing night in the Atlantis.
I did. Well, my boyfriend is one of the most romantic, fiance now, is one of the most romantic people on the planet, which I'm not used to. So I never know how to sort of, I want to say pay him back, but I'm competitive. What can I say? So, I had to take it to a new level.
Oh my God. How could you even sleep how could you even close your eyes? It's just magnificent looking at all the fish. I have to say,
actually, it wasn't a hanky-panky room. It's a room that you literally, I don't know if any of you have that app, Calm or whatever it is, to make you go to sleep. We were mesmerized. We didn't, we just sort of looked at it the whole time. It was amazing. That's all you wanted to do. And it absolutely made you sleep like a baby.
Yeah. And was there sounds? Could you hear the sounds as well? Or is it just
No, but it's just watching them float around, isn't it? It was incredible. I sent pictures to my dad. He's like, oh, darling, that would make me so claustrophobic. But it wasn't. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm sitting there and having breakfast and a shark floats past.
And what I'm amazed by is how all these little beautiful fish kind of swim around in packs like little wolves through the water. It's incredible.
I went in there afterwards. I don't know if you've seen this afternoon, but I went in it.
Yes, I saw you. You're hilarious.
It was brilliant. We were like two little school children. I think that's how I know I've met my soulmate. We just laugh and laugh and laugh together.
You sure do. Gosh, massive congratulations, by the way, on your recent engagement. How exciting for you both.
Isn't it? I mean, I think it's exciting for women in general because I'm like, I don't know, when we first started dating, I suppose everyone thought he was like the bicycle, you get back on and have a go and then you put it back, right? But he's actually sticking around and amazing. And I think, and men have been going out with younger women for decades and nobody bats an eyelid. So I'm doing it for the girls.
I love it. Good for you. But you look so happy, Caroline. You're oozing happiness. You can actually see it. It's coming out of your eyes. You can really
you're so cute. I think it's genuinely for the first time being absolutely who I am. Mm-hmm. I never have to check myself. And I can't stress how much that is freeing. It's not about anything other than just, I don't have to worry about editing myself on any level ever. And I've never had that before, I think, be it at school or be it in my, day-to-day life or just pleasing everybody else. Now I can literally if I want to do naked cartwheels through this living room, I can.
I love it. You're not controlling your thoughts. It's just free, complete freedom.
I mean, sometimes I wish I could control my thoughts, but no, I don't. I don't control my thoughts.
I was watching you guys in Austria. What was that like? That was a totally different vibe, obviously, to where you were last night.
Okay, well, I lied to him. He thought he was going on holiday. And then he kept going. When we get there and we check in and we see the concierge and we get room service, I'm like, there's no concierge, there's no room service. We're not checking in. There's men with white coats and we're going to our bedroom. And, in the minibar, no minibar. It was brilliant. And then he realized what he was in for. But actually, at the end of it, we both absolutely loved it.
Yeah. And did you experience that kind of total recovery where you feel like you have more energy, or what was it like?
Oh my God, I feel like I had a rebirth.
Yeah.
He suffered a bit because I think, he didn't have as much. I think it was a shock to his system more than it was mine. I've done it before. I've done it twice actually before. I want to go every year. It should be part of your lifestyle, just to kickstart. I feel like a new human. They say you go back 10 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do that. That sounds really interesting.
Everyone's got to do that.
I know.
If you can't, actually, my girlfriend has a platform called Eat, Burn, Sleep, which kind of preaches the same thing. It's all gut health. You'd be amazed. I mean, I blow up like a balloon. I literally look like I'm pregnant with twins if I eat the wrong thing.
Wow.
And I think, I've just learned a lot more. And you come back, you reboot, and then you can, live a better lifestyle.
Definitely. And we're carrying around all the toxins as well. It's in the atmosphere as well. It's not just in what we eat.
No, and I think from COVID, I've given up smoking too. Well, my son begged me. So I managed to give up smoking. So I got that out. I'm not drinking as much. I was having a glass of wine all the time with my girlfriends and things like this. I'm not doing that.
Good.
And I don't need it. I'm just as funny and loud without alcohol, to be honest, because I'm so bright awake. I have green tea now. And also I just think I'm happy at home. Like, I'm happy in my space with my family's complete with Sergio.
Yeah, I know. And I can hear the little birdies chirping in the background there behind you.
Isn't it nice?
It is. It sounds picturesque. You've been so lucky with all the sunshine, though, in Dubai, and having, the opportunity to have all those outdoor spaces at your disposal. Unlike here in Ireland, where we're pretty much in level 5 lockdown still.
I know. People can't you either get people that are really pissed off with me because they see all my things, or go, oh, it's so nice to watch it. There's something about here. Look, when I moved from the UK, I didn't think I'd be coming to Dubai for that long. And now I'm here. I can't see myself go back. And I don't care. Of course, like you guys, I get it all the time. People are like, your life is perfect. Look, like everybody else, I do have issues. Things go wrong for me all the time. But I am genuinely happy because I don't sweat the small stuff anymore. And if I've got sun on my face, I don't know why. I just feel happy. And I've got love in my home. And my kids are amazing. My boyfriend's amazing. My house is amazing. I feel like I'm happy. Nothing else can touch you once you're that kind of content.
Definitely. And you look happy. So, Caroline, I have loads of questions for you today.
Oh.
And I'd love to ask you about your first childhood memories of home. Can you share any of those memories with me?
Sure. I'm called I'm called Dory because I have the world's most memory. I think I blocked out most of it. But my first memories are sort of like being in my house, and we had a really big sort of formal house. I was brought up with like Norland nannies. You remember those nannies in brown uniforms?
Yes.
And I had just being in my garden with those nannies.
Wow. And did you grow up in the countryside? Or?
Yes, I grew up in a huge house in the countryside. It was a very formal sort of upbringing, very English. Children were seen and not heard, really.
Wow. Okay. And did you have any kind of posters on your bedroom walls, or how did you express yourself creatively as a teenager?
Oh, well, I went to boarding school from 6 to 18.
Oh, wow. I see. Interesting. Gosh.
Yes. I think that's part of why I'm such a child now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is why, I think my boyfriend or my fiance is always like, his friends are always wondering how, with such an age difference, that we get on. But I'm really younger than him, and I'm living my madness now. But yes, I had Aha. I had all of those music, Duran Duran, I loved, Aha, and people like that, and Christian Slater all over my walls. But at school, yeah. And then my mum in my house, I lived upstairs, and I had a room in the attic kind of thing, which I loved. And I don't think I put stuff on the walls there. I can't really remember it that much, but I think it was overly decorated, put it that way.
Overly decorated. And when did the travel bug begin with you? Did it start from a very early age?
No, I mean, the travel bug, I have this whole thing now. It's just I want to get around the world. I think when growing up, funnily enough, we always went to Greece, Saint-Tropez. I think in our society, we all sort of meet on the slopes and everyone does the same fucking holiday. Excuse my
Yeah,
language, but it
totally.
drives me nuts. For like 10 years, you bring up your kids, you go to the same place and we all meet in the same, so London just, migrates. So I think most of the way I've built my life today is based on things I learned then of what I don't want to do. I don't want my children to grow up going to the same place with the same people. I don't want to go every holiday to the same place because that's what we have to do. I don't even want a holiday home because then you'd have to go there. I love travel. I've made a pact with my boyfriend to travel to places every single year that we've never been. So last year we did the Himalayas. I went to Peru with my girlfriend. I did Machu Picchu. I climbed higher than bloody base camp. With my boyfriend where he proposed to me. I was planning to go to Thailand with the children, but since COVID, unfortunately, we were all good to go. But then that hasn't happened. So I'm going to start, obviously, traveling with the kids hasn't happened as much. It was the first year now. We went to Turkey together just before I split up. And then, the first 2 years that we've been split. So my ex has been taking them, but I'm going to really make an effort now. They really want to start traveling with me.
Great.
And then I became the face of a hotel group. So, traveling around the world became my job.
Yeah. Well, that's a fantastic job. And it really is. It's like you're in such a fortunate position to be able to experience life in this way, to be able to travel and to take us all on your journey with you.
Yeah. And I hope I'm showing people that, it's so important right now, if you can and you have the finances and you're able to travel, because these places won't be there if we don't. They won't survive, sadly.
Yeah.
Down to airlines, to beautiful hotels, to everything. We're going to lose that the option to be able to do these things. These villages are suffering. The places that we went, and honestly, I couldn't have been safer on a mountain in Nepal. Literally, where am I going to get COVID? There was nobody.
Exactly. What was your trip like there in the Himalayas?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, people say why. There was no why. There was no epiphany. I think I was so busy. If anyone, I've got 3 kids. I'm the face of 6 or 7 different companies. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. So I was at a dinner party and somebody he's the world's greatest explorer. And I think I was flattered. He goes, "You've got to come with me, Caroline." And I went, "Oh yeah, I'll come." Anyway, didn't think it through, never Googled the Himalayas. Probably should have. Note to self, don't agree to things without Googling where you're going first. And then the month just arrived. And I was like, fuck. And it was the week before. I hadn't even got walking boots. I live in Dubai. I mean, you don't walk anywhere. Like me, I've got a driver that drops me 2 meters from the shop. So I think I did 10 minutes on a treadmill, got exhausted, got off. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Anyway, I went to go the week before. He calls me and he goes, "Have you got all your equipment?" I'm like, "What equipment? I don't have any equipment." And I've got ski clothes. He goes, no, you need equipment. So off I went to North Face, who decided to sponsor us. And they kept bringing out face masks and camel packs and things I've never heard of, minus whatever sleeping bags. I'm like, no, I won't need that. No, I think I thought I was going to Courchevel for the weekend, honestly. Not 9 days on a mountain. I didn't wash for 6.
No.
No, I mean, when the helicopter dropped me off, I suddenly realized shit just got real. I am not getting off this mountain. And I looked around and I was like, no, you can laugh. It wasn't very funny at the time. And that's also, by the way, without taking into account the bathroom. Put it this way, childbirth was better than, or more, I had more dignity in childbirth than I think I did on that mountain. But I did it. And I'm really proud of myself. And my boyfriend became my fiance, so it can't have been that bad.
Oh my God. Talk about coming out of your comfort zone. I mean, it was like the extreme situation for you.
Well, that's
And
me. I unfortunately don't think things through ever until it's too late.
and have you started making any wedding plans yet?
Well, we really want to sort of know that our numbers. His football shirt was 11, and my number was 11. My lucky number is 11, so it's really weird. So it's 1111, which is always what I was writing on my thing before I met him.
Yeah.
So just really, really bizarre. So we wanted 1111, but I mean, I don't know if I want it with no guests. I didn't want very many guests because I had 700 at my first wedding, so I
Oh my
wasn't keen to
gosh.
have anything close to that. But I mean, I don't think I can get away with 10 people either. So it just I kind of feel I want no shoes, no, very relaxed compared to my first one. So I think I can put it together very quickly. So I'm just seeing how it goes, where the world is then. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a
Just play it
bizarre
by
world.
ear. Just
Yeah.
play it by ear. And can you share with me, Caroline, when things started to kind of develop between yourself and Sergio? When did he enter your life?
He entered my life in May 2 years ago, whatever that was.
Oh,
So we met, and actually, he was at my first ever speech I made in Newport Beach because he'd just come back from playing soccer, and he was one of the only guys. It was a women's empowerment talk, and I think he only turned up because he thought there would be a room full of women. And I actually set him up on a date with my girlfriend, who was then single. And so I think it just developed over time because I wasn't looking at him like that. And actually, I didn't even know how young he was then because he lied to me. He was still too young for me when he lied to me. He told me he was 31, which I, thought he was. I wouldn't have considered him at 31 either, really. And then Benjamin Button just got younger and younger.
he certainly has. God. And
I know.
you're so compatible. It's insane. You seem like you're just constantly laughing and cracking up laughing together. And
Well, we are. And I think, when I met him, he was 24.
wow.
And ridiculous. And I would have gone to, and by the way, it's not lost on me. Any of my girlfriends had been in this position, I'd have told them they've lost their mind. They're having a midlife crisis. And if they really wanted to have, a little bit of fun, you could pick him up and put him down. But we're 2 years on, and I'm engaged to him, and he's amazing with my children, and he's super mature. Maybe it's the soccer. I'm not really sure what's made him like this, but he's traveled. He was professional at 15,
Yeah.
and I don't know. He's great, and he doesn't see the grey hair and the wrinkles.
I don't think you have wrinkles or gray hair, Caroline. That is for sure.
Well, you're very sweet. But,
No, you don't. But I think probably you're very young for your age, and he's probably just more of an older soul for his age. You probably met somewhere in the middle.
Yes, I still I'm not saying this is the right way for all the women out there, but what I do say is, what I have learned is the list has to go because you just don't know. Because on your list, your perfect list, he wouldn't have been on it. I would have been like, there's just no way. He's bound to be, just a bit of fun kind of a guy. Yeah. Soccer player, 24. But, honestly, he's amazing, and he has never made me doubt him. He's so in love, as am I. But I think the world has now seen, because I think at the beginning everybody sort of felt, well, maybe she pushed him into it, or maybe she keeps him there somehow. I don't know how I would do that, but and I think with our stories and combining our brands now a little bit, people see that it's really him, not me.
Yeah.
Which is apparent to people now, which I think it wasn't before. So, and why can't a young guy fall in love with an older woman? I think we're quite fabulous. We know our own minds.
Absolutely. I mean, you're not the first, and you will not be the last. So
I am not. I interviewed Susan Sarandon the other day, and she had a 5-year relationship with a man 35 years younger. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. And I'm trying to think of his name now. He was in Shawshank Redemption. What's his name?
Unbelievable. And the only reason they broke up was pressure from other people. No, not because of them.
Oh,
she's very fond of him. And who else? I went out with Heather Mills the other night for dinner here, and her boyfriend is 16 years younger.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So I think it's coming round.
Totally. Look at Joan Collins.
What's their age difference?
I think it's a healthy 25, 30 years.
Well, there you go. I'm only 18, so mine's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it lasts. It actually lasts. I was thinking about it. If I did what society told me I should do, which is go and find, another guy in my age group, say, 40 to 55 or whatever it is, 60, he'd have another 3 kids, which I can barely look after the ones I've got. And, and keep tabs of them. Then you've got to have a relationship. It's just impossible. I can't see how that works. How do you mesh 2 lives?
Definitely.
I'm not leaving my house. He'd have to move in here, and he's not going to leave his house. And you're just too set in your ways. My boyfriend's like a bit of putty. I can mold him perfectly.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're hilarious. And he sounds like he's great fun as well. I mean,
oh my God, he's epic.
Yeah.
He is epic. What I love is like every day he wakes up with like fresh eyes. It's like he sees the world like a puppy every single day. And I love seeing it that way. A job that I find boring, he finds incredibly exciting.
Yeah, he seemed like that in the hotel last night when you were posting it. Like he just wouldn't eat. Was it this morning or last night?
Yes. No, he won't eat. He won't do anything that's just
mesmerized by that whole experience.
Yeah. I mean, he literally bursts into tears at the drop of a hat. If anything, that overwhelmed. It's so sweet.
It is. That is. That's great. And you're kind of experiencing life again through him. And likewise, like it's pretty cool.
I'm living the life of a teenage girl.
You sure are. I love it. And listen, Caroline, both you and your husband have done an incredible job remaining amicable.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, talk to me.
It took some work. We both had our ups and downs in different places, but 100%. And I'm really proud of us, to be honest. Like he spent Christmas with me, and it's really soon. It's only the second Christmas, and when I travel, he moves into the house, which must be hard both ways. And he just invited Sergio to my daughter's birthday next week for the dinner he's throwing. And I think he's really seen, I think he's seen at the beginning, I think he thought, what the actual fuck? He's like 11 and he's just, it's not happening. And now he's actually come around. He sees how good he is with the children.
Yeah.
And honestly, Sergio has more energy than both of us put together. So like my son wants to play, he goes to the games with my son. He goes to does all the stuff that we don't want to do. It's like, he said, he always laughs. He's like, I'm literally an unpaid nanny. But he's amazing with them. And I think Jem has to acknowledge that now and sees that. And, he's happy now. And I think when it comes to it, we both knew it was over. It's just that probably Jem hadn't mourned the loss of his unit rather than me, and now that I've tried to put it into his head that there's no loss of the unit because we'll always be his unit, whether he wants us or not right now, whether you have the bits ins and out, we're always going to be his unit. And I speak to him most days. We have a little group chat where we have everything on it. And, I ask him advice on stuff, and it was his birthday yesterday. Wow. So we got him a present,
Yeah, but you'll always be friends. You'll always be like very important in each other's lives because you have, your children together and everything. So
we shared one lawyer. It cost us $2,000 each.
Oh, wow. Incredible. Yes. Yeah, that's great. That's really, really great. You're very lucky, Caroline.
I think it's down to the woman, to be honest. If a woman wants to make it hard, it's hard. And I don't want to say that, but you can switch it. You can just say at all cost, because the lawyer is the only one that wins.
And they will keep egging you on. Like they are. I mean, that is their job.
It's their job.
So yeah, it's you have to just decide going in that you want to kind of make this as plain and simple.
Also, if you know what the pot is the pot is the pot is the pot. You can't make it up. I don't believe that, I was married 18 years. Why should I get everything and he can't live a nice life too? I think it should be fair. I mean, obviously everyone would like to have had more money or get more money. But if that's all there is, and if I need more money now, I work for it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, amazing. That's the attitude to have. And I think that's a healthy attitude. And of course, you'll have a lovely future
Yeah.
as friends. So that's all that matters. And you've got to think about your children and the happiness for everyone. So love it. It's all down to your attitude. And your podcast, Divorced, Not Dead, has been a breath of fresh air.
Yes, thank you. Well, I don't really know. I'd never done anything like this before. And I think I forget that I'm on air, obviously. I've never listened to them. So I don't listen to them so that I don't edit them. I let the editors in America listen to them if there's anything that really needs taking out, but very little. Mm-hmm. And because I just feel that you'll correct yourself or say, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I don't want to do that. And I learned that probably from reality TV, just that you don't get the choice to edit.
Yes.
So I think that makes them better. And I just really, when a topic comes in, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't draw breath. And I don't draw breath. It just comes out somehow. I don't know where it comes from, but it comes out. So, and people just listen. It's just been really, it's flown. I'm actually shocked at how popular it's become. I'm top 20 Spotify for relationships. It's mad.
It is. It's amazing. But you're speaking from experience, and that's always much more, interesting to listen to than anything else.
I get asked a lot of questions, and I always say, I'm not a therapist. I can only tell you based on what I think I had a very interesting call. Everybody wants me to do one on infidelity. This by no means has impact on my marriage. That's not why we broke up at all. And I have no idea whether he was or I was, we don't go into any of that. Couldn't care less. But I get asked all the time because I think a lot of marriages break up because of it. And I have very strong views on so this woman emailed me the other day going, my husband's out at parlors or something in the day. And she goes, I just wanted your advice on what you think I should do. And I just went, congratulations. That's amazing. And she went, what? I said, what you're going to do is you're going to ignore it because he's not dating anyone. You've been married 18 years. You've just told me he's an amazing father. He's an amazing husband and you love him. So he's only in a parlor. It's a transaction. Let it go.
Wow. And what did she say?
She was like, oh my God, thank you. She's like, really? She said, thank you so much. And I'm like, well, if he'd come back with a 26-year-old and he was whining and dining her on your dime and it was a relationship, that's one thing. This is just proving to you that he literally, it's a need for whatever reason. And of all the things I've seen or heard in this thing, and I've spoken to lawyers, I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, this is very small.
It is. When you actually kind of break it down like that, it probably is very small.
When you simplify it. But I think when it becomes your whole world, or you go and ask your girlfriends, and I said, whatever you do, I suggest you don't ask your girlfriends.
Yeah, because then that just makes it more complicated and you're just fanning the flames of the whole situation.
They fan the flames and everybody has their own reasons. People love to deflect from their own marriages or deflect for their own drama, and like someone else's drama is better than their drama. And, that you never know where it's coming from, or maybe they've, maybe they've caught their husband doing something. So to have your husband go regularly there, it's better. Now they feel better about their own marriage, and, then you should blow up or they broke up with their husband about something, so then they feel that you have to follow them. Everything should be on your own terms, and I don't believe in getting a problem shared is not a problem halved. A problem shared is a problem
quadrupled.
Shared. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very true. My God, totally. And you probably need to everyone has to walk. You have to walk a mile in somebody's moccasins to really understand their life, their decision. It's an old, that old saying, but it's so true. And so, sometimes it's just better to keep your counsel to yourself.
1,000%.
And I remember, Caroline, when I first saw you anywhere, I remember was in Hello magazine. And you had your twin boys. And I remember thinking I loved your haircut at the time, going, that's how I always remember seeing you first. And then I remember following your career into Ladies of London. What was that like for you to be on a reality show?
First few years, I mean, the night before, I think I thought I was going to throw up because I had a pretty good life before it. And it's quite hard putting yourself out there because when you're on a reality show, you're not a character, you're yourself. So you're like, oh my God, what if they don't like me? Or what if I say something stupid? And, you can't hide it. You can't, and if you try and cover something up, that's specifically the bit they look for then. So you just have to, as you said, you just have to trust and go for it. It was great until it wasn't. I think, obviously, Sophie. And I think till Adela came in and Sophie sort of turned on me, it was great until then. It's very hard when, the cards were stacked against me because I became the most popular one for pretty much from the outset. And you can't plan something like that. I mean, I had no idea. I'd never won anything in my life. So like, I definitely didn't think it was going to be me that was the breakout star of the show. You know what I mean? Like you really don't know. It's the audience that choose but I think after a few years, when you become that, it ticks people off when you're an ensemble cast, when you get a lot of the attention or whatever else. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was I think it was like my just ridiculous attitude, zero fucks given.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that stood out. I don't know. But so then everyone started turning on me season 3. And I think it also became something the producers even wanted, which I get. She's been up there too long, nobody could really touch me. Now someone's got to get her off her perch. So if you saw the last series, it was like one after the next, and just as I was battering one off, the next would come, and then it just got exhausting. I'm like, what am I doing this for? I've done it. I've got to the top of it. I feel like I've achieved everything. I'm now in a place where these girls really want my position, and you can't hand the baton. Somehow you have to be. They have to knock you down. And I don't like going to work. I'm quite a girl's girl. I don't want to go to work and sort of think, what bomb am I going to have to deflect today?
Yes.
And I think I was just done. And that's when I walked away. So I walked away when I was done. And they brought in an old school friend of mine, and she just went for me from episode 1, which I was actually quite shocked. I thought she'd give it at least an episode or 2. And she didn't. From like the moment she arrived, she was horrendous. And
yes, I remember.
Yes, I was just done. I was just tired. At the end of the day, I was losing my business in the UK, I think, which no one really talked about. They didn't even ask me how I was because, none of them had a business. So I don't think they really understood, the biggest problems in their lives were where the baby shower was going to be held. And I was dealing with, liquidators. So I think we were on such different planets by then that I was like, I couldn't do this and go home and live sane. And then, I was just done. I tried, and when I left, I was super ready. So, but it's given me this giant platform, which I've built on and, amazing fans that have stayed with me all the way through. And look, my career has changed again. Who knew I would be doing such a successful podcast? Because I've got a built-in listenership straight away.
Absolutely, but you're really helping people, and you're really you're having conversations that need to be had, and they're coming from kind of experience, and that's a lot. Always has a lot more kind of weight than if it comes from anyone else. As you said, you're not a doctor, you're not a psychologist, but I think experience really is, has its own weight and gold, if you like.
Yeah, it does. It does. And
really does.
I've learned that. Again, as I said, I didn't set out. I didn't know how many people would help, but I get messages, tons of messages every day going, so many different reasons that it gives people hope that, life isn't over. I don't know why women seem to sort of have this thing. We've been told so long that you can't do things. You can't have it all. You can have it all. You can't have a younger boyfriend. You can have a younger boyfriend. You can't have a life after 40 if you've got kids. You can. You're just beginning your life. There's 40 and there's 40, by the way. I go to the school gates and you see some women that look like they've been hit by a truck at 40. And you're like, why? And they just look dead behind the eyes, like they're exhausted, like they've given their lives up, and they look 60, and you're like, it's life should be starting now.
I love it. So you're so inspiring.
Thank you.
And there's whispers of a return of Ladies of London. I believe Bravo did a poll, and a lot of viewers would love to see it make a comeback. What do you think?
Well, we get polled all the time. I think it's one of the fan favorites, to be honest. I know there's been a lot of whispers about a lot of these shows coming back. Never say never. I would love to do something like this again. I'm ready now. I'm not sure I'd like to go back with all of the rest again. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. I've been approached a few times by the girls going, should be, but I don't know whether for me it would be going back. I feel like I've
moved on.
I feel like I left and moved, but you never know.
Yeah. Unless there was like a new version of the show. But I have to be honest, Caroline, it did always feel like you were the star of that show and you really kind of anchored the show.
Well, that was it. And that was and I know in a way that's why it ended, because I was the one that made sense. It was all my friends and family. Mm-hmm. So, I do feel responsible for that sometimes because I know the girls loved it. And then I would love to come back in some capacity. But again, if it's not my path, it's not my path. I think if you force these things, right now I have a great life in Dubai. Yes. It would take a lot for me to go back to London. I mean, London isn't what it was.
No,
I just love life here, and if anything, I wanted to really, really go to the States eventually. Sergio wants to be in the States. I want to be in the States. I don't know, and also my life with Sergio is becoming its sort of own thing, because I think people want to see so much of that. I understand that the couple brand that we are right now, that has legs.
Yes, definitely. I mean, why go back? You're on your own journey, really. The States sounds like the perfect fit for you.
But, again, never say never. I always hate to say that, and then I have to eat my words.
Well, look, there might be a whole new version to the show, and it might not actually be like Ladies of London. It might be something
Caroline
else.
Sergio.
Ladies of something.
Yeah.
Or Caroline.
Who knows?
Sergio. Exactly. I love it. And tell me about your interior, your passion for interiors.
Yes. So, when I came here, you guys have probably seen my house.
Yes.
I love color. I mean, especially when I think I got divorced, everything in my head looks like literally color rainbows threw up in my house. It makes me so happy, and I've just launched my own carpet line. Have you seen it?
Yes.
On my Instagram. Do you like it?
Love it.
Really excited about that. That's coming out very soon. And all the furniture in my house we built. And it's just, I teamed up with a girl here who's done amazing houses in London. And we've been doing show flats and things like this. It's just, it's just a bit of fun for me. I love it. I've always had a passion for interiors. I love doing my house. I love this house. No matter what mood I'm in, I come down, I feel immediately happy. It's all glass. It's my dream home. I dreamt about this home. I dreamt about Sergio and this house. Although I thought it was in Los Angeles, it's in Dubai. It was an all glass house on my pool.
Wow.
I'm living, I promise you I manifested this life. I can't quite believe it.
I believe you. I mean, it's blue skies, brightness, and pops of color. I mean, that's just you, really. That's how I would define your interiors, your look and feel. And are interiors and design really different in Dubai than they are in London?
They're not big on interiors here. It's weird, but houses aren't their main focus. The interiors. So I probably have the most interiorly designed house of anyone I know.
Really? I would have thought homes would have been amazing in Dubai.
Some are, but it's not like the UK where everybody sort of interior designs their house. It really isn't. You'd be surprised.
So what is their thing over there if it's not interior design?
Cars.
Cars, okay.
I've never seen so many supercars in my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everybody has an amazing car. They have great homes, don't get me wrong. It's just that you can't, the furniture isn't it's whatever, blah.
Yet, when you see anyone from, say, the Middle East living in London, their homes are absolutely stunning in London. So interesting. Yeah. Well, I guess there's probably more to do outdoors in Dubai. So, I mean, why worry about the indoors when you've got so much to do outdoors?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
And have you found the pandemic parenting tougher than usual in any way, or how's that whole thing been for you?
Well, I think it's been really nice because it's been a pause. And also it's been a time that, a lot of my contracts got paused. So you're stayed at home And it was nice because it forced the children to spend that time with Sergio that maybe they wouldn't have. My relationship got sped up, and so they got quality time, and they fell in love with him. And well, I just feel like it made me love home more. And because I moved into my dream home, so I left, when I left the last house, I really stretched my budget, to be honest. Everyone told me I couldn't afford this house. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I could have gone to a beautiful penthouse apartment, 2 floors, whatever. But I was like, I've always used to run past these houses, and I'm like, I wanted one. They were totally out of my budget, but I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to work harder. Yeah. And I got it. And more contracts just came.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, and now I'm staying, and, and I'm affording it, which is amazing. And it's just so, I love it. And every time I think, maybe I'm going to lose something, someone else comes. And I think that if you just keep a positive attitude, and by pushing yourself, that's always said, by pushing yourself to, I'm not saying put yourself into debt, but I'm saying pushing yourself to, get what you aspire to have. It means that I think if I'd gone and put myself in an apartment, saved money, and done half of it, maybe I wouldn't excel the way I have to excel. I have to afford all this because I love it. I am so happy in this home. I can't tell you. I just look at the palm trees and the orange outside, and I'm like, oh, I just feel like a new woman. So there's no way I'm not going to afford this house.
I love it.
And I would tell you, I'm going to buy this house one day.
I love it. I remember, I think it could be 2 years ago, you posted that you were reading books by Brian Weiss or Wise. I can never pronounce his surname correctly, but I have all of his books. And I remember you posted one of his books, and I thought, oh, it was Many Lives, Many Masters.
Yes, so good.
Do you remember reading that?
Yes, and I'm reading Live Fully at the moment as well, which is a Buddhist book. Yeah, I met a lot of. I did a lot of Buddhism, or studied it while we were in the Himalayas, which is fascinating. And I really, really believe that if you sort of set your own goals, and like, I love that nothing comes easy. I think people think that I've got this giant pot of money that, means I don't really have, nothing really, I don't have to strive for anything or work for anything. It's just not true. And everything is my hard work and slog. And, I didn't get a massive settlement by any means. And, I have to do stuff on my own, just, and that's why I'm so proud of Sophie. Look what Sophie does in a month. And I upgraded my life, but I wanted to, and I'm loving it. And it's, as I said, this is just the beginning.
And it's interesting what you've just said there, that you feel, really happy that you need to challenge yourself, and that every day you need to kind of push yourself a little bit more, because it's important to be open to change. Because if you're not, you're never going to kind of experience new things. So you just got to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes, you can't wrap yourself in cotton wool and just always have a buffer. I don't want to have a buffer. I'm sort of like fly by the seat of your pants kind of a girl. Yeah. Like, oh, well, I'll deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, you really do. You're brave. You're very brave. It's great. Yeah. And are you a super neat and organized type of person, or what do you like to live at home? How are you in your own?
Oh my God, my house looks like you could eat off the floor, which, considering I have 3 children, 3 dogs, a dragon, and 2 housekeepers and a driver and 4 members of staff that come to work in here, I don't know how. I do not know how, but it is like perfect all the time. I am a neat freak.
Are you? That's what I wanted to know. What are you like? I always wondered what you were like.
Not at anyone else's house, by the way. If I come to your house, I'll make a complete mess. But in my house, I'm a neat freak.
Are you? And so if we opened up your handbag, you've got a really neat, organized at all times handbag.
Oh, God, no. No, my handbag's a disaster. Absolute disaster. I tried one of those like little neat things, those things that you pick in and out. Yes. Yeah, I know. I carry everything. No, my handbag's awful. Is in there.
And are you a heavy packer? Do you pack everything?
Yes, I take about 35 luggage. I don't think I've taken a plane in the last 6 years where I haven't had to pay excess on the way out. Yeah.
And when you went to the Himalayas, like how many
Oh,
bags
don't
did
even
you
talk
have?
to me about that. I packed Chanel. I was telling you, I thought I was going to Courchevel. I was like, I totally did
Oh,
not. I took a crop top, for fuck's sake. I took crop tops and I don't know. I opened my luggage and I was like, I've just packed
oh,
all wrong.
oh, it's
All wrong. When I put on the crop top, my boyfriend, I mean, it was one of those ones that skims your nipples, which frankly I'm too old to wear anyway. My boyfriend was looking at me going, you know, I don't. He just the words. There were no words.
yeah,
No
I know.
words. Yeah, and the
Hilarious.
shoes. I forgot shoes. I had to go and buy shoes. I
In
didn't
the
bring any.
Himalayas.
No, I brought a pair of high heeled boots, I think, and just nothing. I don't know what happened to me. I mean, sometimes I question my sanity.
Yeah, you missed the brief. You missed that packing brief for
Well, the
sure.
thing is, there was a brief, and he asked me whether I read it, which of course I hadn't. Um, but again, I think I thought I was going to Courchevel. I mean, and I was going to be having. Well, I knew exactly. I thought I was going to be having like fondue.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be having glühwein, and apparently, if you drink on the Himalayas, your brain will explode,
Oh
and it's
my
no,
God.
yeah, due to altitude.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So no, I just had totally
Hilarious.
underestimated what I was doing.
Yeah. Good to
But on the
know.
other hand, I made it.
You did. You sure did. And what was the air like? Like were you really tired at nighttime? Like the oxygen is so clean. The air
No,
is
that
so
was
clean.
fine. I mean, you're always tired. You've walked 9 hours in the
Yeah,
day, and
true.
when I talk about it was like doing 9 hours on a Stairmaster, not going straight.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exhausting with high heel boots.
no, I know I bought walking boots as well, but like, yeah, yeah.
And who's the most domesticated out of the two of you? You or Sergio?
Oh, Sergio,
Oh, is he?
of course.
So is he
Come
a
on.
neat freak as well?
Yes, he does all the cooking. Um, he really takes care of me.
That's so
Um,
nice.
he really takes care of me. He's amazing. Can't and he cooks for me, for the kids. He's very sweet. He's very sweet. Luckily,
That
he's not here
is.
right now. He's gone away, so he can't hear all my rubbish.
So you're a Taurus. He's a Virgo, am I correct?
Libra, I think it is.
He's a
What's
Libra.
28th of September? What's that?
Oh,
It's Libra, isn't it?
Libra. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was a Virgo. How
So what
sweet.
does that mean?
Well, you love all things beautiful. So I mean that would be definitely that would kind of definitely tally up with you.
He
I could
likes
tell you.
anything that's shiny.
Oh right.
Yeah,
He's a little bit of a magpie.
a total magpie, and he dresses like a Christmas tree. Oh no,
But you
it's
crack each other up though. That's I mean, I loved your cobalt blue fur coat in Austria. Like that was
wasn't that
fantastic.
amazing?
Yeah, amazing. And Sergio dragging you through the snow on your back.
Yes, thank you.
And no booze were involved.
No, no booze.
No booze. No
No, that's us.
alcohol.
That's us sober.
I
It's us
love it.
every day. We
So
were rolling around on the floor today, actually.
obviously laughter is a really important ingredient in your relationship.
It keeps you so young.
It
And
does.
I think the belly laughs we have, we wake up and belly laugh from the moment we wake up. Sergio likes to start the day with a koala bear hug regardless. Like every morning he has to hug me till I squeeze me to death. And he always says, "You look so beautiful." And no matter, and I sleep in my makeup, so I know he's lying because I've got like mascara around my, ankles. But he genuinely believes it.
Yeah, that's so sweet. He loves you though.
Oh, he
And
really does.
Caroline, are you a spiritual person?
I believe in something. I think we all do. Like, I like the meditation and things like this. I don't believe. I think there's one God that we all pray to.
For sure. Because I noticed, as you said earlier, about the 1111, like that's a
Yes,
real thing.
it is
And
a real thing.
which you've kind of tapped into. It's actually just so interesting that numerology, and especially 1111 in particular. And when I saw it again, I was just thinking that must mean that Caroline is spiritual if she's kind of tapping into that sort of stuff. So I was just curious.
Yes, those kind of things. We're doing a vision board together this afternoon.
I love it. And is
Hmm.
self care and eating healthy and all those things really important to you both?
Yes,
Yeah.
our bodies are our temple.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Um, his maybe is a little bit more, but he's actually a feeder. Drives me nuts because I eat all the food which he pushes on me, And then, like, I've never been more overweight than I am with Sergio.
You don't look overweight, Caroline.
Well, I've just lost it again, but I mean, I'm sure I'll put it on because he gave me, like, he just feeds me. He likes me with meat on me.
Oh, hilarious.
He says I look like a bobblehead and he loves it.
I love that. And how do you guys unwind at like in the evenings? How would you typically unwind at the end of a long day?
Well, Sergio likes to unwind like by lying on top of me. I'm used to being sort of going down and sort of like lying by myself. He can't unwind unless he is like physically next to me, but like uncomfortably next to me. He has to like, it's almost like a newborn baby on somebody's chest. That's how he has to be to relax. It's hilarious. So we just sort of like, we watch movies and drink tea, but we're intertwined. It's very sweet. It's like two little koala bears.
That is so cute. And Caroline, what inspires you or motivates you each day? What's your driver?
Achieving things that I want. It's as simple as that, really. I know that I've got goals, so I know that I have to do it. Like I know I have 4 people in my office that I have to pay for. I know I want this house. I know I want my children to grow up here. When I'm older, I don't need such a big house. I know that, I want to have the best those things.
Yeah.
It's, end goals, I guess.
Yeah. And you're just on such a roll. So
right now I feel it a bit, but I don't want to be too cocky and then fall off, but you never know, you never know. I guess,
Yeah. You're on a real roll. It's really great.
But isn't it great? You know what I was thinking about the other day? I mean, it may have taken me a bit of a while. But sometimes I get upset. I'm 44 and I'm hitting my stride now.
But look, that's fate. I mean, do you believe in fate? I mean,
I do actually.
Well, then everything is timed out. So like, this is your timing. This is your time.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking, God, maybe, what a shame. What if I haven't got long where I'll look like this and then I won't be able to do all this. And then there came my podcast. I was like, okay, I don't need a face for that, do I?
Exactly. I think I think there is something if you keep asking for what it is you want, it's almost like you keep pausing it from happening. So you need to really just visualize what you want, let it go, ask for it, visualize it, imagine that it's going to happen, and just let it go. And then
it's happening.
It suddenly enters your life. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I agree. It's like being unapologetically asking for it.
Yeah. And Caroline, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Enjoy the journey, I guess, a little bit more, because you're right. In some ways, there's no way to control. I think we learn to let go a little bit. I tried to control every aspect of my life, and actually it doesn't ever go the way you want it to go, or you think it's going to go anyway. So where you end up, it's so different to where I started. But I'm so grateful for it being here. I wouldn't have met Sergio. I wouldn't have, I only went to America once. I've just, signed all new management in America, and life is pretty bloody good. And like, when you hit the bottom, it's never the bottom. When you think, life is over and it's, there's no way out. And I'd like to say that to people, because I think with COVID and everything going the way, there's a lot of people who are depressed or feel that they've got no way out. There is always a way out. It's hard to see it when you're in it. Very hard to helicopter yourself, no matter what. And I think, you never understand anyone else's journey. But when you can get clarity and you can see someone that's maybe not your family or maybe not a friend that can give you clarity, there's always a solution to every problem.
God, I love that. That's really inspiring. I love it. And Caroline, this is my final question to you.
Oh, okay.
If your home was on fire and you could only save 3 things, and this cannot be Sergio or your children, what would they be?
Oh, my dogs.
Your dogs.
Yeah, my dogs would come, like, my little Taz, and they would come straight out. Mm-hmm. And then it would be my dogs, my handbag collection. Is that bad? What else? Three things.
Your dogs, your handbag collection.
And some photographs, I guess.
Yeah, Good answer.
Please clarify, my children were already out.
And your mobile phone and your passports.
Yes, no, that's fine.
That's all outside on the front drive.
We can leave Sergio's Philip Plain collection in, because I'm actually thinking about burning this house down just to get rid of it. It's not actually a joke.
Can I ask you something very quick? It's called the quick fire round of questions. Are you ready?
Oh, me? Yes.
Yes. Okay. Bath or shower?
Shower.
Text or talk?
Text.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Half glass empty or half glass full?
Always full.
Virtue or sin?
Sin.
Big dogs or small dogs?
Small.
Fashion or interiors?
Interiors.
All or nothing?
All.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Dawn or dusk?
Dawn. Risk
taker or dream maker?
Risk taker.
And my final one, 2021 or 2022?
2022, please God.
Yes. Thank you very much for chatting with me today.
Thank you. It was fun.
And I love chatting to you. Thank you very much. And I'll continue to watch you on Instagram and live and watch you staying in these fantastic places that you stay in and travel to. So
thank you. It was great.
You take care of yourself.
You too. Bye.